It's in lonely, and my team really sucks. It's in lonely, and nobody gives a fuck. Let's recap some of our draft highlights. Anybody, reflections of the way life used to be? Anybody got some?
Sammy,
there's
hit
some
us
big
off with your highlights.
There was some big ballers this draft, just like last year. That's for sure.
What was our top? What was our top pickup? 104.
I gotta look it up. It was definitely. I don't think it went into triple digits, but I feel like it was in the 90s for sure.
I thought Rune, Airbenders.
Oh, you're right.
Gassers.
So I'm looking at this now. So Cunha Jr. went for $108. We had three players sell for triple digits. Acuna Jr., Mookie Betts, and Corbin Carroll, which was a rookie last year. He's a sophomore this year.
No.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, the artist formerly known as Eddie Goodell went. He went all in on Acuna, right?
Yeah, those were ballsy picks. I know my buddy Andy, who couldn't be here today for work obligations, was very problematic and ready to throw in the towel after seeing how fast and furious people were going with their salaries. But then I reminded him too that he threw $100+ on Mookie, and honestly, first 2 weeks of the season was in first place.
No, he's
somehow
a baller,
that team is holding up together pretty good.
Yeah,
Mookie's amazing. The Dodgers are just stacked. I watched the Dodgers home opener, and they're just so good. It's amazing.
They do have a lot of guys that can hit. That's for damn sure.
Shohei only went for $59. I feel like that might have been a steal. We'll see.
Ooh, I didn't realize he was that low.
Well, any betting odds on how he'll do the rest of the year? Maybe from an administrative standpoint.
Well, there is some more storyline coming out there. I don't know how much you guys have followed this.
Not lately.
No serious bombshells have been released, but the last number I saw was over a $5 million payout to that bookie on behalf of his translator, who was his best friend. And yet he says, I knew nothing about it until the request came in. It doesn't look good, right? Let's just say that it doesn't look good when somebody at that level is one degree of separation away from illegal gambling.
Yeah, looks like Sam's roommate has something to say about Ohtani.
Ooh, Alibaba.
Yeah. He's an Ohtani fan for sure.
With a little tiny hiney move.
I see that. Yeah, he was trying to.
He likes attention. He doesn't like that I'm talking to other people. So.
Oh man, yeah. The Ohtani thing for me is just it's just hitting me on a more like an emotional level. Where I'm like, my sport doesn't need this,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not to get overly judgmental, but in my opinion, as soon as MLB partnered up and got into the sack with DraftKings and all that shit, they've invited it. I mean, what are you telling me? That when you partner literally with gambling organizations, you're trying to say that is not a double thumbs up endorsement of betting on your game? I mean, where have they come from? Giamatti having to say to Rose immediately, "You're gone forever." I mean, forever and forever. To now we're gangbanging fucking DraftKings and what's the other one? I forget.
FanDuel.
I don't even know.
FanDuel. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know why we're gangbanging them. But
well, that's just where you took it.
Money, that's where you took it. Money.
Yeah.
A lot of money, dude.
Well, okay. Speaking of scandals, rising to second place, but not rising to Roberto's taunt is Scrotal Imprint. What did you guys think about this player suddenly playing fantasy baseball this early in the season?
There's a lot of pickups. of which you understand my aversion, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna possibly look at a roll call vote for capping free agent pickups at 1,000.
Put it out
Yeah.
there. Put it out there. No, I'm serious.
Because he's
He's
already
at
at
32.
25.
He's at 32, man. He's made 32 moves.
Jesus.
In Christ, our good friend in Christ, who
Nick
is
Miller
notorious
always.
for moving.
Yeah.
He's only at 28. So
Okay.
I feel like Squirtle Imprint is just on a bender here.
I have to admit, only until I wrote it did I realize his name was not Scrotal Implant. I did not mean that as a slight until I wrote it out, and then I was like, wait, Scrotal Imprint. I've been reading it as implant the whole time. He lost one along the way, and that happens.
Yeah. No, this is
a full Scrotal Imprint.
It's an imprint. Yeah. It's
Is it like a thumbprint? Self-identifying.
If he had the guts to be here, he could explain it.
If he had the guts.
If he had the nuts to be here, right?
Ooh. Yep.
No nuts, Scrotal Imprint.
We'll see. I sent him the link. I mean, he knew about it, but so yeah, I mean, early on, much like actual MLB, these standings right now aren't very indicative of anything in particular. But Roberto, you're at the top. Let's talk about your team a little bit. What went right for you in the draft?
I was honestly pretty surprised. I was a little over aggressive on some of my relief pitchers, but there was hardly any overbids. I think I threw 10 to 14 at most of those guys, getting Phillips for the Dodgers, getting Alexis Diaz for the Reds, getting Camilo Duvall for the San Francisco Giants. Everybody's least favorite, Aroldis Chapman, terrible human. Already got 3 holds or saves. Definitely in line for the lion's share of any kind of relief work in Pittsburgh. So I thought that was a shock to me, getting 4 essentially closers, and most teams maybe taking a stab at, that middle relief or hunting for a little bit cheaper value on holds, which is one thing I really like about this league, is that we have holds and saves, and it's a pretty fluid dynamic, with the exception of maybe a few teams, like who's going to be closing tonight. So I thought that surprised me. Took a pretty big hit in the pants with McLean going down for 60-day IL within the first week of the season. I was really looking forward, not that I'm a huge fan of the Reds, but just the offense, like the team they put out there on the field any given day. And now they're already down the third baseman, Yaimer Candelero, the Matt McLean. It's like they got 4 injuries for guys that are out for either a week or 2 months.
Yeah, no, I think it's like the Reds position players are on the same regimen as the Tampa Bay pitching staff. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just
not enough iron in their diet, They got to give them some Kellogg's Special K, and then just straight iron magnesium pills on top.
And the late nights at Beansnappers are catching up with all of them.
That's right. Too many visits to the parking lot. And same with Shota Imanaga. I mean, hated to draft a Cub. Generally, I don't, as a rule of thumb. But it just was like,
I watched that game. He was fired up, dude. He was fired up. I think he had 9 Ks. It was his first premier, starting spot in the MLB. So I'm excited about that guy.
They also mentioned that he traveled here with 2 footballs. And he's like, oh, yeah, a couple of the American guys that came over to Japan would always have a football. So we'd throw around every once in a while. And I figured that was a way that I could kind of engender myself to my teammates. And I think a lot about how difficult, coming from a very respectful and clean and maybe not healthful environment, but a much cleaner society the Japanese player lives in.
Very different.
They come stateside, in Chicago specifically. That's a huge shock, and how much of an adaptation is that for them? Well, he's winning me over. Only wished he was playing for a different team, but that was another big one. Really happy to see from the fantasy perspective that he pitched so well in that opening game.
Plus, he's rocking some long hair. I like that too. This perfect for the Midwest, man. I mean, I'm sure someone told him listen, you want to go over well in the Midwest, just walk with a little bit of swagger. Let your hair grow. Just don't give a fuck and throw strikes.
How about for you, Sammy? Highs
Uh,
and lows. Any in depth or detail on how the draft went for you, or if you got caught in a pinch anywhere?
I probably got caught in a pinch. I think I had a few too many beers, but I don't have too much to say on my team. I think I'm gonna have a few guys on the Brewers who are gonna get hot, and then I'm hoping to find some trade value for them. So I have Willie Adames. I have Sal Frelick, Contreras. I have
Willie Adames. Didn't somebody
Churio
offer
as well.
you a trade on that already?
Yeah, I saw something in the DMs, but it wasn't a clear cut and clear fair trade. So I was unsure who that came from. I'm not sure. I'll double check the DMs. But
okay, came from me. That's who it came from.
Oh, is that who it came from? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Details,
and I offered you
details. Come on.
I offered you the NL best relief pitcher and a shortstop for your shortstop, which I think was a good trade value considering. And no counter. That's all I'm gonna say. There's no counter. It's just straight denial. No understanding of like, hey, if this doesn't look good, how about this? So
Well, I'm gonna intervene for a moment here. I'm gonna provide some pure mediation, but it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help.
Help me out.
Okay, so Ryan, I'm gonna assume that the shortstop in question on your end is TA, a man that we used to call Tim Anderson.
Yeah. Okay, contact hitter extraordinaire is looking to revitalize his career.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Well, it wasn't a straight up trade shortstop for shortstop. Okay,
no,
let's be clear. Yeah.
No, you said you had a reliever in there as well.
Yeah, Alexis Diaz. Yeah, the best NL closer we had all last year. Who has some, issues to work out like we all do, but 38, 43 chances.
You know what, Ryan? I've been getting so many trade offers. There's been a lot on my plate, so I'm gonna be. I'll be needing to run. I'm running the numbers currently, so.
Okay.
Let me get
back to some other folks.
They're cycling through.
Scrotal implants contacting me. I got Christ is King over here. It's one after the other. I'll get back to you.
So we'll see what happens. I just wanted to call it out because again, I thought at least I'd get a counter, but. If you felt like it was that imbalanced, I'll take it to the bank.
Well, just working through my papers over here. I'm definitely you're on the list.
Oh, jeez.
See, Ryan, what you can't see at Sammy's place is he has a team of 14 Austrian mathematicians who are just like
crunching numbers
nonstop.
Right over here.
And then the room behind him is dedicated to the supercomputer, his Trademeister 40,000.
Is that the same computer they built in Willy Wonka that was going to tell him where the last golden ticket was?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of trades, we were able to pull one off, and that was quick. We did that basically pre-season.
Yeah.
Maybe just before the Korea game, and I was very appreciative of that trade because I don't know. My starting pitching, I'm willing to roll the dice a little bit, but I had nothing at catcher, just nothing.
And I've been seeing a lot of people dropping and picking up catchers here, just looking to find somebody to fill that spot. And Scrotal Implant might have 4 different catchers on their team already this year.
Yeah, but he's recycling garbage, and you were kind enough to trade me a good catcher, or at least a promising catcher.
Yeah, with options.
It was a promising catcher for an established pitcher, and I don't know. So far, so good for both of us, I think.
I think so too. Watching, Corey or Milwaukee Veeks climb the ranks here a little bit. He was last year's winner, was it? Or was he a second place?
He was second
That's
last year. Yeah,
sub 200.
Yeah. Vex won it in 22. He won it all. Yeah.
There it is. And he's got a pretty stacked lineup, I have to say, on the offensive side of the ball. Although Nolan Jones can't seem to throw anything from the outfield to hit the cutoff. I've watched multiple errors be assessed to him, And then the other one that made me chuckle the other day was his overrun of a simple fielded ball resulted in 3 runs scored. Like, just put the ball in your glove. Nobody's going to run on you from where you're at. You don't have to hit home plate.
He's
he overran
Rocky.
it.
He's a Rocky. They don't teach baseball in that organization.
They teach really good food, and the Todd Helton burger is king. You can only serve it until the 7th inning. So delicious. Shout out Todd Helton. JT Realmuto. The offense is pretty stacked. Who's pitching for us tomorrow, Sammy?
I think it's tonight is Freddie, but I don't know who's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tonight's game. That's right.
Yeah. Tonight is Freddie.
Friday. Yeah. Yeah, my days of the week are subject to change. Whether I follow the Gregorian calendar or not.
Or the lunar or the whatever.
Yeah, the Mesopotamian.
There you go. The sundial.
The 14-month, zodiac.
I guess thinking about the draft, when I was done with it, I was wondering, are we doing a good thing with our auction? I mean, do you guys feel good about it? Like having the auction method?
I'll let Sam kick off on that one.
I think it's great. I mean, before this, I've done fantasy basketball, fantasy football, and I've never had an auction done before when I've drafted. So I think it's great. I think having the bets come in live is it just, builds a suspense. I probably overpay because of that. And I think, if it really leads to, you really have to probably do more research to get results on a draft with a bid system because of that. So I'm a fan.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree too. I think because I'm in 2 other leagues where we've had auctions, one of which is that Dynasty League, you've really got to hone in, like, what's your upper limit? Some of the gamesmanship that I appreciate and I see other people doing too, it's like, not just because you put somebody out there is that the person you want. You put a guy out there that's like, well, yeah, let's get some more money out of people's banks. So then towards the end of the draft, we've got a few extra bucks that we can get an arm. Jesus Sanchez, right? I don't know if he was a free agent pickup or if he was drafted, but maybe you get him for $2 and you don't have much competition against him, and everybody else is down to only $1 guy. And I know that caught at least my buddy Andy a little off guard, as I think in his mind, you had the auction money, and then whoever you didn't have remaining, you'd just fill in through like a free agent or a waiver wire pickup, which I've never played that way before. I'm not even sure that there is a setup for that, but good point, Sam. You definitely have to do a little bit more pre-draft personal ranking. I think in this league, when you're looking at assessing value for those players, because you don't get that money back. It's like when Castillo got left, he was a $30 pitcher. Poof, that's my ace. Now I'm hosed. Versus, and it's just a snake draft. It's like, whoever's up, pick whoever you want next, pick whoever you want next. So I like the added challenge and excitement of that bidding system.
I have thought about this using the free agent acquisition budget for the waiver system. What do you guys think about that as a potential proposal for next year? Everybody gets, $100 or whatever it is. And if you want to pick somebody up off the waiver wire, you got to put the money up to get him.
So essentially you bid, right? So you got $100 and the waiver wire opens.
Yeah.
And you put 20 on it.
Oh, yeah. That's
and
right.
And then Milla comes in and somehow he overbet it by 22. Or you get lucky and you put $4 on a guy and nobody else bids for him. So now you get that player for $4.
And you only have like $100 all season, right?
All season. So that's where we cap, 35 moves. I mean, I think this is a little bit of gamesmanship by some of these folks too, like Scrotal Implant, where when you pick somebody up and drop them, nobody else can pick them up then until the waiver period passes, right? So that's another 2 or 3 days. I would vote for that if that came up
really?
As an option.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, that really makes you think harder and longer about who you draft.
Okay, because that may help to more naturally regulate all those kind of transactions. Because then, it's not really a constraint in as much as it's just a different structure for it.
Yeah, if you want a guy, put $20 down.
Yeah,
and then you get him. And if you want a guy and you don't want him that bad, you put $4 down. Somebody else puts 6 and they get him.
Okay, let's among the three of us, let's try to remember this conversation for next year. Maybe even just, maybe I'll just put
Pre-poll it.
just put FAAB out on the message board and see what happens. Okay.
Any biggest wows? I know we don't have a ton of time left, but just in our short season that we've seen, anybody just like overly surprised by somebody's production, or the opposite, surprised at how bad a player started off?
It's a minor one, and it relates to both my favorite teams, the Brewers and the Doc Ellis All-Stars. DL Hall was underwhelming. I couldn't understand how he only elicited 1 strikeout, but he wasn't terrible. I guess I just saw such an electric arm from the highlights last year. I was a little bit like, come on, man, are you holding back? What's going on here? So I'm very, very interested to see his next start and hope it looks more like 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, 2 runs given up, something like that.
Keep it under 100 pitches, preferably, so you don't got to go 20, 25 pitch innings, 30 pitch innings.
They're gonna baby the dude,
Yeah.
I wouldn't guess they'll let him go much past 85.
80, yeah.
I don't know. How about you guys?
What you got, Ryan?
Oh, I was just going to say for you, Sammy, were there any big surprises as far as players in the league, one way or the other?
I mean, just on drafting on my team, I'm a little surprised I have Suzuki. He's been killing it. He's got 2 home runs, 6 runs, 8 RBIs. He's a top 30 player right now. So
yeah,
DMs are open. We can chat about stuff, but that's a big surprise for me. Again, I'm trying to. I probably need to up some of my pitching, but overall, I think that's it. Like for league wise, in terms of shockers for me, nothing else. I guess I'm not surprised, but I'm just as a fan, I'm super happy to see Churio playing well. He's getting on base. He got his first home run. Do you guys think he's going to be in the majors all year, or at any point do you think they'll put him back down?
Ooh, I don't know of any other. Well, I guess there are other prospects we could use, like situationally down the line, but I can't picture one that would make him go down, right? Okay. I think they would send any number of other players down before him.
I think barring an 0 for 24 stretch, I say there's no way he goes down. He pulls
a Mike Fiers, right, and slices his hand open up a can of sardines in the shower. One more, I'm going to give a big, holy F, Michael A. Taylor, who resides and exists on Doc Ellis All-Stars outfield. 12 for 25, batting 480, 1,000+ OPS.
Yeah, I don't even know if he had a team the day before the draft. He didn't get picked up until like mid March. I think he was.
No, he was bussing tables in the Beltway. At best, he was doing cherry blossom tours in mid-March, dude. And now he is killing it. That was your third last pick, right? Or towards the bottom of the draft, it had to have been.
Yeah, and he just barely made my list of
maybes,
Holy Marys. Mothers, and
that's a wild stat
16 our fathers. Congrats.
Yeah. The thing last year is, despite a miserable batting average, he was nearly 2020 last year on the Royals.
Ooh, I did not know that.
I just kept him in the back of my mind, and we'll see how long that goes. He might have figured something out last year. I don't know. But the Pirates are an oddly intriguing team. I think they may usurp the Reds just like that, thanks to the Reds' 924 injuries,
including every bat boy. They had to get rid of all the bat boys. They all got hurt. Separated shin splints. And throwing out a bit of a surprise on the pitching side, I would say my boy Max Fried, quite a letdown for his first appearance, but I know he's going to bring it back a little bit. At least I'm hoping and praying he does. I'm not expecting to get, 200 plus innings out of the guy. I just need that sub 3 ERA, 180 strikeouts, 14 wins, and I'd be happy. Maybe that's asking too much.
No,
but,
I don't think so. I think that's reasonable for him.
But AJ Puck, bringing it back to the Doc All-Stars. I have him in all the other leagues. I really wanted him in our league. He looked good in spring training. The talk was there. The hype was there. The problem, he plays for the wrong team. He plays for the maligned Marlins that I don't know what they do with their pitching. Sixto Sanchez, our favorite 250-plus inning potential pitcher. So fingers crossed he turns it around, all right?
Yeah. I have I drafted him in Nick's league as well, but I preemptively dropped him because I don't have the time. But I'm going to, in NL only, Puck and Holler are my little special projects. I'm like, guys, I know you used to be relievers. Now you're going to strike out a ton.
Make it happen.
Be fruitful and multiply.
Go forth into the universe, strike batters out, and hit the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to bounce, gentlemen. You guys are more than welcome to carry on. I don't know if there's any parting words, last thoughts, deep thoughts, dark thoughts.
No, it's perfect. Let's wrap it up because I gotta work at the ball game and I gotta leave here at like 3:30 and I got to shower, so I'm pushing.
Good luck getting parking, right?
Yeah, I'll be in the Logan lot, man. I got a sticker.
Oh, you're going old school with the sticker in the window.
Hell yeah. No, I think, you know what? I mean, Brewers wise, nothing's changed for me. I still think we're going to tie for the division at the top with the Cubs. It might not be 87 wins. It might be 84 wins, but it's going to come down to the tiebreaker. And I think in NL only, you're going to see an impossibly hard-fought finish. I don't have any idea who's going to win.
I agree.
What say you, Sammy?
I agree. I think this league is going to be won on the waiver wire. I don't think Mookie and all the high rollers can carry people to the end. So I'm going to be combing that waiver wire, making sure I pick up the right people at the right time. But I'm excited, looking forward, and looking for the next podcast as well.
And you're out of country for a bit coming up, aren't you, Sammy? You're going to do some prospecting in South Korea?
I might do some traveling this summer, so I may be on different time zones, but I'll still join. I'll still join up.
Yeah, nice.
You'll bring your laptop and your cell phone and your fob and all your dingles and dongles.
Oh yeah, I'll call in from the jungles, you know.
Now, do you have the funds to bring your 14 Austrians and their Draftmeister 4000?
That's a great point. They're actually going to be working remotely. You know, this day and age, we're all just remote, and we
Good
just zoom it up. But they have their own room. They just work.
I love it, Sam. I love it. Good luck to everybody. Happy Friday. Big one, right? April 5th. We made it. We got a big eclipse coming up. 30% is going to hit Montana, so we're going to try and get out there and see a little bit of that on Monday. Be well. NL only.
Awesome, guys.
Peace. Go Brewers.
Go
NL
Brewers.
only. Take care, guys.
It's NL only, and my team really sucks. It's NL only, and nobody gives a fuck.